Welcome to another episode of the Stillman Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Battisto. The guest we have on for this episode is Abram Cline. He was a two-time California State Place winner. He finished third this last season and third the season before that. Super tough wrestler out of Granite Hills High School in San Diego. He is in Maryland. He just had his first practice this morning. So super excited to talk to him about his transition to college wrestling, talking a little bit about his high school career, and really just get to the bottom of who are the best dodgeball players in Granite Hills. So we'll figure that out too. Super excited to share this conversation with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. Dude, so you graduated. When did you go to Maryland?
I literally left 2 days after graduation. So I left June 8th. Our graduation was on June 6th.
So you left, did you flew there? You didn't drive across the
I
country?
drove. Yeah, I drove.
You drove?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. It
How far
was
of a drive is
really
that?
long. It was painful. It's like 36 hours.
You did it by yourself or?
No, it was me and my dad and my mom and my sister. They flew out and they met us here. But yeah, my dad and I we drove.
Dude, that's got to be a fun trip to do with your dad. It's like a
Yeah, it
proper
was fun, but it was really long. Like I don't think I'll be driving for a while. Yeah, it was rough.
Are you in a dorm or are you like in an apartment or a house or something?
I'm in a house. Yeah, I'm in a house with five other my teammates.
Who are you rooming with?
I'm rooming with Cal and Ethan Miller,
Nice.
Dario Lemus, another California boy, and AJ and Michael Pizzuto. AJ Rodriguez, Michael Pizzuto. Two
So
guys.
so you've been there for 2 days. Who's the messiest?
Messiest. Well, the Millers are out of town right now. They're at home in Missouri. So far, no one's too messy. Like we're all pretty clean. Um, nothing bad so far. But I mean, we'll see. Only been here for like 2, 3 days. So
Have
yeah,
you started practicing over there yet, or
yeah.
is that
I had my first practice this morning.
how is that?
It was good. I mean, it's like it's a lot different. It's gonna be good. It's gonna take some getting used to, but it definitely is a lot different than high school.
What would you say maybe are like some of the biggest differences that you've seen so far?
So far, I'd say it's more like individual. Like you kind of like work on what you need. It's only been one practice, but you kind of just work on what you need to work on, and then they're kind of there like helping you out. There's so many like little things that change from college to high school, like little bits of technique that are so much different, but that kind of like perfect your like finishes and stuff. So yeah, it's more like individual. But everyone is just like tougher, like a lot higher pace, and it's a lot harder than wrestling a high school kid.
That pace is going to come though. Like you're just over time going to figure out that pace and be able to kind of
Yeah,
wrestle that and acclimate to
yeah,
that
for sure.
level.
Yeah, yeah, I think that'll happen pretty soon. Probably. I have some good partners. So
Who are you working out with today?
today, Tyler Garvin. Yeah, he's a Fargo champ at 100 or 106. So he's a good partner.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's probably not related to Hunter Garbin, is he?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Same last
Okay.
name though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Maryland. I think that guy's like in Iowa or something.
Yeah, he's from Iowa.
Yeah.
Um, dude, so how what's the campus like that you've seen?
It's big. Like it's gonna thankfully I brought my car, that's why we drove. But it's big. Like all the guys said that during like class, they use their scooter to get to class. So I'll probably have to get one of those just because the parking situation, like you need to get like parking permits and stuff, which I had no idea about before I got here. But you need like parking permits for pretty much everything. So but yeah, it's big. Like it's cool though. Like big brick buildings, a lot different than you'll see in California. It's like older and it's really cool though. A lot of big and cool buildings. I like it. I like it a lot so far.
You know why the buildings are built out of brick, right?
Why is that?
So they can handle the snow, man.
Yeah, I don't think it snows much like here in Maryland, but that
Are you
probably is.
sure? Does it snow
Yeah,
in Maryland?
it snowed last year. And it was like the first time for like years that it snowed. But I
Dang.
think it's just the part that I'm in College Park. I'm 20 minutes from DC, so yeah, I guess it doesn't snow much here.
Huh. Yeah. I don't know. It definitely gets cold though, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it definitely gets cold. And right now it definitely gets hot. Like it's humid. It's probably about like 90 degrees right now, but it's like it's different than California, you know. It's not like that dry heat. It's more of like that like humidity. It's different than California. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
you can like feel the moisture in the air.
Yeah, you really can. It feels pretty gross too. Like I'm all itchy and stuff. It's like, but yeah, I'll get used to it though.
Yeah, it's like you don't start like you don't stop sweating. You're just
Yeah,
constantly sweating.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, how much are you weighing right now?
I'm like 125 right now. So yeah, I'm about to hit the weights hard. But like from what I saw today, like just the lifting is so much different. Like I think that the weight should come on in no time. Um, a lot more like you have a lot more access to like protein too. You know, it's like always there. So that'll be good. I think I can get up. I want to get up to like 133, 134, you know, that would be good.
Do they have a I'm sure they have a performance center there or some kind of nutritional
Yeah,
building
they
that
have a
you can go.
nutritionist. Yeah, in the weight room, we have pretty much our own weight room because the football players got like their own new like weight room. So we pretty much have the weight room to ourselves. I think it's us and like girls volleyball or something. So yeah, like they have like all the protein and nutritionist stuff like in the weight room. So right after your lift, you just go straight there and you get what you need and then yeah, it's pretty easy and fast and it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the biggest part, about adding size, especially when you're in a college lifting program, is the eating part. And that's sometimes the
Yeah.
hardest.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really hard for me. Like I suck at it, but I need to get better for sure.
Well, it sounds like you're in a pretty good house, like the Miller brothers, Dario Lemus, and then there's a couple other guys that I don't necessarily know their name,
Yeah.
but you're with some guys that have experience and been around the
Yeah.
college game a little bit.
Yeah,
I
they're
think that
helpers for
they're going to
sure.
rub off on you for sure, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah,
Um, no, go ahead.
yeah, they're great, you know. They're going to be great influences on me and yeah, I'm excited to hang out with them. Unfortunately, the Millers aren't here right now, but you know, looking forward to them getting back.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about your recruiting process. I want to say when did you commit? I feel like you committed kind of early in the year,
Yeah,
right?
like pretty
Last year.
much a year ago, I wanted to commit my junior year so that my senior year was just like kind of less pressure. Because junior year was like crazy, like the so much stress and pressure went into that year. So after that, I was like, I just want to wrestle like just a little bit more free and not have the pressure of all these like schools watching me and stuff. So I committed early. I want to say like exactly a year ago. So like before my senior year started.
Who are some of the other schools that were looking at you, and then I guess why ultimately did you choose Maryland?
Yeah, I didn't have like a ton of schools recruiting me. I went on like unofficials. I went to CBU on an unofficial because they're so close. Um, I was gonna go to Virginia after Maryland, and then I went like on some other unofficials to like Drexel and Lehigh. But yeah, Maryland was just I fell in love like immediately. The coaches just like they really believed in me there. Like I wasn't the biggest recruit, but they just like they knew that I'm capable what I'm capable of doing. They really believed that I could be an All American, like NCAA champ, and it's just like that really sold my family and I. It's just how much like belief they had in me. And then I love the school. I love the guys. Like the Miller brothers, they were my hosts, and like they were awesome. And yeah, just all the guys are super chill. Like they're easy to get along with, and the facility is nice. Like our wrestling room, super nice and everything, and the weight room. And I just knew that like if I wanted to accomplish my goals, it would have to be somewhere like Maryland. It doesn't get much better than the Big Ten. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think people sometimes, maybe not in the last couple of years, but in years prior, people kind of forgot, Maryland's in the Big Ten,
yeah,
and you're going to have that Big Ten schedule, dude. That's got to be something like, especially like with their network and how they cover the sport. Like that's got to be something
yeah,
that's super exciting.
yeah. It is. It's super exciting. Um, but yeah, like once you're in the Big Ten, you got to start training like you're in the Big Ten. So it's a lot of work for sure, but like it's a great opportunity, and I'm super excited for it. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of fun duels and a lot of fun tournaments and stuff. So
Who is Maryland's like? Do they have like a rival within the Big Ten, or like do they have like a rival school?
so I would say, I mean, I'm not 100% sure yet. So like I don't know too much about like who their rivals are, but it gets pretty close with Pitt. Like we beat them last year, and then this year they beat us by like a couple of points. I want to say like one match, and so like there's a little bit of like a rivalry going on there. But like in the Big Ten, I mean, I'd say like we're really competitive with like Indiana and Michigan State and Purdue too. Purdue. I don't think we dueled them this year, but it's like really close in the tournaments and everything. So yeah, but Pitt, like, yeah, we're pretty competitive with Pitt.
Yeah, I can already tell, dude. Like you're already like
Yeah, no,
repping.
like I'm excited for that duel.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Is it going to be at home or is it going to be at Pitt?
I think it was here this year. I'm pretty sure. So it'll probably be at Pitt again. Cause yeah, when they beat them, it was at Pitt, and then when Pitt beat them, it was here. So it'll probably be at Pitt.
Cool.
Yeah.
When you were getting recruited, was it Coach Clemsen or was it somebody else that was kind of doing most of the, I guess, the talking to with
Yeah,
you?
most of it was like all Coach Bracetta. Yeah, he's like he recruits really well. Like he reaches out a lot, and like this year he came out to watch some of like Branson and some of the other guys that he wanted to get. Like he puts a lot of work into our recruiting. So yeah.
Yeah, I want to say,
I
I don't
couldn't
want to get it
find
wrong.
Netflix in your Apple Music library.
Oh,
You can add.
Oh,
sorry.
dude.
Siri went crazy. What's
Siri
up?
just went off for a
Yeah,
second.
I don't know. She was yelling at me for something. I don't know.
Just saying something about Netflix. You got Netflix going on in the background?
Nah, yeah, I might have been watching a little bit of Breaking Bad before this.
Have you seen it before?
Oh yeah, I've watched it like 4 times. That's my favorite show.
I don't mean to hate on it, but
No
I thought
way.
it was so slow.
No
It
way.
was it was like really good and then really slow and then really good and then I just couldn't handle it.
Nah, I feel like it's the only show that like for me it like never gets bad. Like they made it the perfect amount of seasons to where it doesn't get too boring, you know? But yeah, I guess I don't know. I think it's a real good show.
All right, maybe because of you, maybe I'll give it another shot.
Yeah, you should give it another shot for sure.
Um, dude, where were we? Yeah, it was Bruschetta. He wrestled. Is it Bruschetta? Did I say that right?
Bracetta? Yeah.
Bruschetta. Dang it, I
Yeah, there
had
you go.
Bruschetta. Bruschetta is like a beast.
Yeah.
Bruschetta. He wrestled. He wrestled. At, was it Purdue? Maybe
No, Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a two-time All-American, Virginia Tech.
They've had some really good recruiting classes the past couple of years. I'm gonna have to check
Yeah,
this
they
guy
have.
out.
Yeah, they have. He was a hammer in college. He got third his last year. He was wrestling like close matches with like Imar and all those guys. So yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah,
But yeah, Virginia Tech is solid. They're getting really good like recently too. Yeah.
yeah. They just got the Columbia coach just left to go to Virginia Tech, and then they had their 74 pounder just transferred, but they're kind of in relatively close proximity to Maryland. Have you
Yeah.
guys? Is that something that you think? I don't know where I'm going with this. You guys don't have them on the schedule or anything, do you?
No, but I mean, I could definitely see it happening in the future, especially because like Coach Becerra went there. That's his own mater and everything. So I could definitely see it happening. I think it'd be a pretty good duel. Um, they're tough though. They're hammers.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to talk about last summer when we came and visited you guys, I thought that one of the things that impressed me the most is the way that you were drilling. It just seems like, for one, like I think you have a pretty good feel, and you're able to kind of allow people to wrestle through positions a little bit, and then I think you have a pretty good wrestling IQ. And I feel like that's super uncommon. Like being a good driller in high school is an uncommon skill or underrated skill.
Yeah.
I guess, was that something that, how did that come about for you? Like, I feel like you got to know that about yourself. Like, how'd you develop
Yeah.
that skill?
100%. It was like Granite Hills and I would say Coach Justin because like before I got there, like I came from like a terrible high school, and so I had like no idea how to drill, especially like like with other high schoolers because it was so much different than wrestling as a kid. But then once we started doing like spar drilling, which for us that's basically like it's basically like easy in, hard out. So they get in and then you give them a really good feel. I wouldn't say 100%. Like you're not trying to score off their attacks, but you're giving them a good feel. I'd say like 80%. And we did that like every day of the season, and that just like it makes you so much better. And like a common misconception about that is that you're like wrestling live the whole time. Like you're giving them just good feels, you're changing it up, giving them good feels. And yeah, I feel like that's how you get better with your partner. Like I think I improved a lot once we started spar drilling. It's just like it's huge.
That's a pretty mature response. I wish more, at least our high schoolers would kind of see that and try to implement that a little bit, because everybody
Yeah,
just wants, or when they're drilling, they're going like, your basic, like I go one rep and you go one rep. And then that's kind of,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
everybody, of course, always wants to go live. But
of
dude,
course. Yeah.
sparring and, drilling like that and like kind of wrestling through positions, that's so much fun.
Yeah, it's great. Like it's like a really fine balance though, because like, you don't want to be going easy, but at the same time, like you're not like you just can't be wrestling live during drilling because that doesn't really help either of you out. Um, so yeah, like it's a fine balance, but yeah, you just got to give them good looks and yeah. But it's super beneficial though. I mean, it gives you it makes your discipline just so good while you're finishing shots, like because they're giving you like really good looks that you'd be getting in a match. So it makes you like it's like once you get in the match, you know exactly what to do because it's muscle memory at that point. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and I think the way that you just said that, kind of trying to develop that muscle memory by going through all these different outcomes, like you get to a head outside and they might try to cartwheel, they might try to switch, they
Like,
might try to,
yep,
pull you into a crackdown, they might just go basic sprawl, lock in the crouch, all these different positions. So if you've wrestled through that so many different times, now
yeah,
it's like going to a match and you can finish quick, which
exactly,
on
yeah,
the college level, man, like you got to be able to finish.
hundred
Getting your
percent.
hands locked is just half the battle. You got
Yep,
to finish.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a good thing to start when you're in high school because in college, like that's how all the drilling is. Like it's just super high pace. So the earlier you start it, the better off you'll be.
I want to talk about one of the things you kind of mentioned your junior year. There was a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
and I'm sure some of it had to have just come from trying to figure out what you wanted to do after high school and wrestling college, where you'd want to go. Um, was that pretty much all the pressure that you felt, or did it come from last year you kind of didn't really get what you wanted? Now you're at a new school.
Mhm.
I guess where did that pressure come from?
Yeah. Well, it's just like my freshman and sophomore year were just like, well, freshman year I didn't even have state because it was COVID. And then sophomore year, it was just like terror. I just got so much worse when I was at my old high school. It was just like my wrestling got terrible, and I got to state and I didn't place, which was like it was like a big reality check because that just really made me like get my goals straight and everything. And it was pretty devastating. I lost in the blood round too, so that I lost by 1 point. It was 1-0 in the blood round, so that stung. Um, and then right away, like I was like, something needs to change. Like if I want to wrestle D1 in college, like something needs to change. So right away, I transferred to Granite Hills. Um, it was kind of between Granite Hills and Rancho Bernardo because like personally I would never go to Poway. That's not me. Um, so yeah, it was between Rancho Bernardo was far and Granite Hills just was like I could just tell like they're really like improving and just like on the rise. And I just feel like with me there, like we just me and Colin and JJ and Carlo was there at the time and we just it was just perfect, perfect storm. And but yeah, that pressure just kind of came from I mean, I didn't place at state, so I was like, I suck, like I need to get better. And then yeah, like right when I got to Granite, I placed at Fargo, and it's like then other schools were finally like they were finally hitting me up and stuff. And then but at that point, like that's when they're watching you. And so I was like, I gotta perform. at these tournaments. And yeah, I had to sit for 60 days since I transferred. And then my first tournament back was Doc B. And so that was a big one. So all those schools were watching me at Doc B. And yeah, I feel like it actually improved my wrestling. I ended up taking second at Doc B and I wrestled pretty well. So yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine like switching high schools, just kind of really in the middle. But I think for you, I think it helped out a lot. For one, you had a setback, which
Yeah.
losing the blood rounds by a point that sucks. And that setback ultimately, it's like it seems like they help you jump levels, it changed your mentality, and then being in kind of a new environment, you're able to kind of take advantage of that. I think what Granite has done the last few years, it seems like that group, like obviously you on right now, I had Guffey on earlier in the week. You guys have kind of been like the standard bearers in a lot of ways for Granite these past couple of years. Kind of looking back just a little bit on your high school career and maybe the impact that you have on the school. Well, how would you maybe describe that impact? And where do you see maybe Granite progressing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just me, like Colin too. I gotta give credit to him because like he pushes me, not so much like he's like pushing me, but it's just like he's such a good wrestler, and I'm competitive too. He's competitive, so like I want to win these tournaments just like he wants to win these tournaments. So just having another guy that's just like you know also has the same goals as me, that was huge. That was huge. And then also just having all my buddies too, like JJ and Carlo, Emilio, just great partners, like we were always making each other better. But yeah, as far as like the impact that I had, like it's hard to say without sounding like arrogant or, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just feel like I push the people around me and, also keep it light. I like to have fun, um, like this year especially, we got so close as a team because we were always hanging out of school and stuff, and like being close as a team like made us a better team. And I think that's what will carry on in like in future years. Even though they lost like a couple hammers, like me, Colin, JJ, they're still going to be good because just of what the foundation that we built for them. Like they're going to keep hanging out outside of school and becoming close and pushing each other, and a lot that along with the like the great coaches we have, and no doubt they're going to stay a top 10 team.
Yeah, no, I obviously I talked to Brady and Sean pretty frequently.
Yeah.
I was close with Sean in college, but
Mhm.
yeah, it just seems like you guys are doing something cool, and it's cool
Yeah.
just being a fan, except when we have to wrestle with you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I thought, I watched you wrestle at the Pittsburgh Classic, and I know it wasn't maybe the outcome that you wanted, but I thought you wrestled hard, and dude, it's got to be a cool event. Thinking about maybe all the events that you've wrestled at: high school, state, Fargo, the Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic, Doc B, Immaculate, like
Yeah.
all these different places that you competed at. What would you say has maybe been like your favorite event and why?
Favorite event, I would probably say state, but like most, I don't know, Pittsburgh was like the coolest experience I've ever had. Like that was something else. Like just the way they treated you there, and just like it was so cool. It was so different. Like I wasn't used to that. They were like treating you like kings over there. It was cool. But state is just like California state is special. Like I was like devastated when I didn't win state this year, but just like having that last tournament with like Granite and everything, and in California, just having that last like tournament with California too. It's cool seeing all these like good wrestlers that you've been wrestling your whole life, and like now you're putting it all on the line against them, and you're seeing some of them like have the best day of their life, and you're seeing others like have their dreams crushed. So I feel like state is just a special, like California State is a special tournament for sure.
And it's something that you have to be mentally in it every single day, and you could still do
100%.
it and not accomplish your goals.
100%. Yeah.
But you going through it, 3 different years. I mean, it's a 3-day tournament.
Yeah.
Dude, Division One is also a 3-day tournament,
Yeah.
Division One national. So it's like I feel like there couldn't be another postseason tournament that could prepare you like that than a California high school state tournament.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That tournament is a grind. Like all 3 years after the tournament, I felt like terrible. Like I had like cuts all over me. I was so sore. I could barely get out of bed. Like it's brutal. And that's how NCAAs will be too. So it definitely gets you ready for that.
What are some of the things that you feel like you have to adjust to? You talked a little bit about maybe just like the pace of the drilling, but when you go into college, what do you think are maybe going to be some of the things that um, you're maybe going to have some challenges when it comes to adapting with?
I'd say uh I'd say probably the hand fight. It's a lot different. I feel like it's something that a lot of California kids in general like aren't really used to, that hand fighting. So I'm gonna have to get better there. Uh, but I'm confident that I will. I just need to work on it with the coaches and stuff. And other than that, not really anything like super big. And I feel confident on top and bottom. I know people say that like in college it's way different, and I agree. But I'm confident there, and I feel like I have a lot of potential on top and bottom. And then as far as neutral, I'd say just getting to my leg attacks. Everyone's position is so good in college, so just opening them up more. That'll be a challenge, but I'm definitely ready to start. Getting in the lab and working on new ways to score.
What about school? Are you excited to get
Tough.
started with school and stuff? Or why?
Not
Why that
really.
reaction? No.
Not really. But I mean, yeah, I gotta figure like what I'm gonna study out and everything. Right now, like I'm just focused on wrestling, but yeah, that's gonna come soon, and you know, I'm not like sure what I want to do yet, so I gotta figure that out. But I'm sure
Yeah,
it'll.
you're behind, man. You're supposed to have your entire life figured out once
Yeah,
you graduate high school.
yeah, yeah.
Is there any like degree or anything that you kind of like, all right, this might be kind of cool, or like maybe this particular class or anything like that?
Yeah, well, at first I wanted to do like sports psychology because that's something that I struggled with when I was younger, and so I thought that would be cool. But man, the thing about that is it's just hard because like there's not a lot of money in it, right? And it's hard to like pick your majors and everything and what degree you want because you got to pick something that you're gonna be good at, but you also enjoy doing, and that could also like bring in some decent money. So it's like three things you got to consider, and yeah, I feel like it'll take some time, but I think I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, you'll definitely take some general ed classes.
Yeah,
They'll kind of like dip your toe in all these different fields, and that's kind of the point of that.
yeah,
But yeah, you'll figure it out, dude. Um,
yeah,
yeah. Worst case scenario, like whatever you get your bachelor's degree in, there's some people that they go on and do that thing, and there's some people that they go and do something completely different.
right, yeah, yeah, that's true.
Before we kind of I guess start wrapping up, I did have a question because I had Guffey on early this week, and he was talking about dodgeball, and I feel like that's kind of like your team's thing. You guys love playing dodgeball.
Yeah,
He said you were good, but maybe not like in the top five. I don't mean to kind of stir up anything, but like,
yeah.
how would you rate your dodgeball ability when comparison to the top five?
No, yeah, he's always talking smack on my dodgeball game, but I mean, I'll admit like I'm not the best two-man dodgeball player, but I don't know if I'm top five. But do you want me to rank them?
You can, yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
If I'm ranking them, I'd say Ryan Carroll first, and then probably Gavin Hunter. They're like really good. I don't know. It's freaky. They must practice like outside of like,
Yeah, they're
outside of
coming to the room like
yeah, they
drilling.
must.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'd probably say like probably like the coaches, they got like strategy, like they got some. I feel like they have some little strategy like written out or something. So they're good. And then I would say I don't know. I'd say I might slide in at around 5 or 6. Me and Junior also, he's good at catching. Like, he acts like he's scared, like, oh, don't hit me, and then he catches it. It's pretty crazy.
I'm gonna
So
have to
yeah.
steal that one. That's a good
Oh
strategy.
yeah, it's a great strategy. Yeah.
Who's a better dodgeball player, Coach Brady or Coach O'Rourke?
I,
You're in Maryland, dude. Like they can't do anything to you now.
yeah, I'd probably say Coach Brady. Yeah, sorry, Coach Sean, but he's pretty saucy with it.
Cool, man. Well, Abram, I'm glad we were able to run it back. I told Colin the same thing. I felt like so stupid when I realized I didn't hit the record button the last time I was there with you guys. But dude, I'm super excited for you. You're gonna have a great time. Um, it's gonna be hard, but
Yeah,
dude, you're gonna it's gonna be great, dude.
yeah,
So I'm excited to watch you wrestle this year, and dude, I hope you have a blast, man.
yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, you got anything else before I let you go?
Nah, I think that's it. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Abram. That was episode 60 with Abram Cline. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to us on Spotify. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. If you want to look at all of our past episodes, you can also go on CaliWrestling.com, the place for all California wrestling content. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.